Tonight, a group of Duval teachers have just wrapped up a march to a cemetery, voicing their worries about plans for reopening for the fall semester. Good evening. We are so glad you're with us tonight. I'm Jeannie Blaylock, and my co-anchor Heather Crawford will join us in just a bit. But first, let's head on out to On Your Side's David Jones. He had been following these teachers on their march. And David, they stopped at that cemetery to send a strong message to the mayor.
Jeannie, that's right. They came here to Evergreen Cemetery. We're at Main and Winona and Brentwood. They just wrapped up a few minutes ago, saying that the cemetery was symbolism for them. They feel like if they go back into the building, if the students come back into the building, there will be students and teachers ending up in a grave. And this was a big piece of that symbolism, a form that they offered to all of the teachers, that organizers offered to the teachers to sign over to give Mayor Lenny Curry of Jacksonville authority over their health decisions, to make him their health surrogate. So obviously a very strong message that they wanted to send to Mayor Lenny Curry. Now, the two groups that organized this, Duval for a safe return to campus and Duval Schools Pandemic Solutions team, they all met at DCPS before driving over to Andrew Jackson High School. From there, they marched right here to Evergreen Cemetery, and they have a list of criteria that they're putting forward, what they want to see happen before schools reopen. First, they want to see 14 days of 0 new local community cases of coronavirus. They also want to see the city return to phase 1 guidelines of reopening. And in schools, if schools do reopen physically, they want masks to be mandatory, they want thorough cleaning, and they want schools that have positive cases during the school year to shut down. They also want to see staggered schedules to allow for social distancing in school. We spoke with one protester, a teacher here in Duval County, who has MS and says that she's fearful of what could happen if schools reopen.
Please understand, everybody, it's not that we're being selfish. We want to live. We're no good in the grave. We just want to live. Kids, grandparents, grandmothers, mothers, fathers, sisters, anybody can be affected and impacted by this disease.
And this protest comes on the heels of an announcement by Florida's largest teaching union, the Florida Education Association, that they filed a lawsuit against the governor, against the state's education department, and against the state's education commissioner to try and stop reopening from happening. We're live in Jacksonville. David Jones, First Coast News, On Your Side.